Welcome to MMA on the Rise. We're here in Charlotte, North Carolina for Fight Lab 25 at Coyote Joe's. It's race week and there's an Earnhardt in the house. Jeffrey Earnhardt makes his MMA debut. I'm with the master of cool, Kevin Ferrant.
Hey Tom, Fight Lab is done it again, putting together another fantastic card. We got undefeated Blaine Thomas facing off against undefeated Drew Kennedy. Also, one of the most highly anticipated fights of the year, Roger the Leprechaun Carroll facing off against John Buck Nasty.
Lots of extra media attention to this one due to Earnhardt in the house. Can't wait to see it. You stay tuned to MMA on the Rise. Tom Ziegler with MMA on the Rise, bringing you the best in mixed martial arts and combat sports. Tonight we've got the main event of the evening for Fight Lab 25 in Charlotte, North Carolina. Two of the area's most experienced pros finally get in the cage, a fight that's been a long time in the making. We've got Roger the Leprechaun Carroll taking on Johnny Buck Nasty Buck. Stay tuned. This fight is brought to you by Any Lab Test Now.
All the best fighters get their blood working. Any Lab Test Now.
Over 150 convenient locations. Spotter panels include HIV, hepatitis B and C.
Only $89. No doctor's orders needed.
In and out 15 minutes.
Fighting is in your blood. Make sure nothing else is.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the main event of the evening. Coyote Joe's, I need you to make some noise. First, out of the blue corner, DJ A-Rod, bring me Johnny Buck.
MMA on the Rise in conjunction with 3 Wide Life, Tom Ziegler, Tony Tan, Paul Boo, cage side. We're at Fight Lab 25. This is your main event of the evening. Making his way to the cage is Johnny Buck Nasty Buck.
He's sporting a 9-8 record, and you look at the people he's fought. He has fought some pretty big names.
Now Johnny Buck, he comes out of what used to be known as Team Husky. I believe he's still Team Husky, but they in conjunction with Black Eye and a couple other things. But he is a catch-as-catch-can wrestler, American submission as they call it. It's a wrestling base. A lot of people are not familiar with the style. It's a wrestling base style that adds submissions. It kind of has its roots all the way back to what's considered carny wrestling. It has its roots in a lot of different things, but it is kind of like a traditional wrestling mixed in with submissions. But they don't necessarily, submissions didn't necessarily come from jiu-jitsu or judo, where most people know of submissions coming from in the mixed martial arts world. So they have a little different style. It's a very aggressive style.
Very, very mean jiu-jitsu, if you would.
Honestly, it's a style that has been described as, jiu-jitsu and judo being the gentle art and the gentle way. Catch wrestling has been described as the violent way. It's a style that basically you use your wrestling to control. Once you grab a hold of a limb, you break it. I mean, there's no gentle finesse into it. You get a hold of it and rip it off.
Yeah, Johnny Buck Nasty Buck in the cage now. Started his career back in 08. He was 5-1 as an amateur. He's now 9-8 as a pro. He's got Luigi Fioravante, which is a former UFC fighter. He's got a loss in 2010.
And out of the red corner, DJ A-Rod, bring to me the Leprechaun, Roger Carroll.
Now you got the Leprechaun, Roger Carroll, coming to us from Superior MMA. He is a submission specialist as well, but he comes from a jiu-jitsu background. He is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt. So now you've got, even though both of these guys are submission-based guys, you definitely have a contrast in style. To the average person, you might not necessarily notice a difference, but to someone who understands submission game, there's definitely a difference in how they attack for the submissions and how they do their positioning.
Yeah, Roger the Leprechaun Carroll coming to the cage with a 10-6 record. He's 29 years old. He's fought some impressive people himself. He's got a 2010 loss on his record to Neeson Osterneck out of American Top Team. Big standout. Neeson Osterneck also fought in Bellator, so a big name on his resume there. He's fought all over this area, very popular with the fans, very charismatic. The Leprechaun will definitely bring it tonight. This has been a long-awaited contest between these two. It's been talked about for some time. Matchmaker Cornbread Allen finally putting it together.
Yeah, they actually both used to be managed by Bread and Butter Management under Michael Allen. And Michael Allen actually no longer manages the Team Husky guys, from what I understand. But he still does some work with Roger Carroll. So there's a little bit of bad blood there, I believe. Both of these guys, I'm sure, respect each other as fighters, but there was a little bit of trash talking before this, whether it's just to hype themselves up or whether they really believe it or not. I believe both of them know that the other guy's a good fighter, but they both think that they have the key to win this fight.
We all saw Roger Carroll back in September where he submitted Josh Egan's in a minute via guillotine choke.
Yeah, he actually separated Josh Egan's shoulder in the process. I definitely think it's going to be a difference of power versus finesse. Roger Leprechaun Carroll has an aggressive style as well with his jiu-jitsu, but he definitely works a lot of different submission attacks, whereas Johnny Buck, I think, is going to just get in there and make it like his name, just Buck Nasty. He's just going to go in there, he's going to make it a nasty fight, and just use pure.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. 3 5-minute rounds in the Fight Lab welterweight division. First, introducing the fighter standing to my left. This young man is a boxer and a wrestler. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall. He weighed in at 171 pounds even, with a record of 12 wins versus 6 losses professionally, representing Black Eye Fitness and Team Husky. Charlotte, welcome back, Buck Nasty, Johnny Buck! And his opponent standing to my right. This young man is a jiu-jitsu practitioner and a black belt under Gracie Baja. He comes to us from Conover, North Carolina, standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. He has an impressive MMA professional record of 11 wins versus 5 losses. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Leprechaun, Roger Carroll.
The Charlotte Coyote Joe's crowd
Referee
fired up.
Donnie Jessup will give the instructions.
Definitely on paper.
All right, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the back. Protect yourselves at all times and obey my commands at all times. Touch them up, good luck, and back them up.
Donnie Jessup, a very experienced ref, giving out last-minute instructions. Guys, look for fireworks. This could be, this could go all the rounds, or it could end very, very quick.
Yeah, both guys have fought at 185, but Buck appears to be the bigger of the two. Good right hand. Another good right hand by Roger Carroll.
Roger Carroll has a Muay Thai style, good striking. He does stand very, very square. It's a traditional kind of Muay Thai style, but he throws heavy hands, good kicks.
Yeah, so far we've seen him get three shots inside with the right. Number 4.
I think Johnny's actually seems like he's a little surprised at Roger's striking. He might have expected this to be more of a grappling game, I'm not sure, but Roger is definitely winning on the striking so far.
Definitely being very aggressive. Going high, low, punches high, leg kicks low. Keeping Buck guessing.
Yeah, he's attacking at all levels. Very, very well done so far by the Leprechaun. A good straight right hand.
Another right, straight right hand.
Another
one.
Those overhand rights are landing almost every time.
He's finding his hook. Now, one thing he's doing, he's dropping that left hand. I don't think he wants to do that too often with Buck Nasty.
Carroll picking Buck apart here.
He sure is.
Here comes the throw. Buck wants to watch out.
Gets the outside reap takedown. Roger Carroll's in half guard.
Now this is where Buck Nasty's going to go to work. This is his style. He's going to get on top. He's going to grind. He's going to grab a hold of whatever he can and rip it off, or he's going to lay some vicious ground and pound. Now Roger's no slouch on the ground. A black belt in Gracie Baja, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, he's going to be looking to sweep or submit for sure.
Yeah, you hear Gracie and black belt in the same sentence, you know that guy's got some serious skills.
For sure. Now Johnny Buck, I believe, smart there. As soon as Roger was able to get back to guard, Johnny Buck stands up and says, I'm having nothing to do with that guard.
Yeah, wanted no parts of it.
Because that's Gracie Baja is known for good guard play.
Buck ate another straight right from Roger. Good double leg.
Looks like definitely that's going to be the key for Johnny Buck here, coming from the catch wrestling background, is to get those takedowns. But he's going to have to pass Roger's guard to be able to do anything with it, because Roger's so dangerous in the guard. But Roger's winning on the stand-up. It looks like if Johnny Buck gets a couple more of those takedowns, he'll be winning on the wrestling. But he's going into dangerous water, getting inside of his guard, the guard of Roger Carroll.
Roger Carroll doing a good job of controlling posture so far. Buck Nasty lands some body shots.
Big swing by Johnny Buck there.
Roger doing work on the with the heel strikes to the back of the hamstring and the butt area of Johnny Buck. They don't have a lot of power to them, but cumulatively speaking, they do add up. They do start to take their toll on Johnny Buck if the fight goes into the later rounds. And where that's a factor is Johnny trying to set up the speed of the shot that he needs to push off of the legs. If his legs are bruised up and he's got a lot of bruising in the legs there, that could actually slow down the shot.
He's posturing up and trying to land some heavy strikes. He gets up, he gets out of that guard.
Now Johnny Buck looking to definitely be the bigger fighter of the two, but Roger is definitely winning on the striking. Johnny has got to get that takedown.
And he is sneaking that right hand in almost every time at will.
And he's also he hadn't had a whole lot of power on it, but he did land some hand kicks. Roger Carroll did. He's working for his own shot there.
Set it up off the overhand right. Gets a good single, gets a leg up on Buck. Should switch to double here now that his head's on the outside. But he does want to be careful of the guillotine, which Buck is setting up now. Big knee by Buck.
A nice knee and a nice right elbow too. Again, this being a pro fight, you can knee the head as well as throw elbows to the head and body. Johnny Buck's using his size advantage and his strength advantage there, it looks like, to control Roger, but because I don't think he wants to have anything to do with the striking. Roger's picking him apart.
Yeah, much more technical of the two strikers so far. Roger Carroll very calm, very composed. Johnny Buck with another takedown as the round ends.
And some short elbows there for good measure.
You know, that's the end of round 1.
We are the Hooter Girls, and you're watching MMA on the Rise.
And you could give that to either guy. You've got Roger definitely winning the striking, landing a lot of shots. But then you've got Johnny Buck with 3 different takedowns in that round. It's going to depend on how the judges looking at this. Are they scoring higher on the takedowns and some of the damage that are done, or are they scoring higher on the striking? Honestly, I think Roger Carroll did more damage. Even though I do like the takedowns Johnny Buck did, I think Roger Carroll did more damage. Johnny did some things, but I think for sure Roger took that round, in my eyes.
Yeah, I'd have to disagree with you. I thought Buck did a fantastic job when he was on top.
Of course, coming from the wrestler.
Landing shots.
Of course, coming from the wrestler. Again, it's all in how you look at it. You know, and honestly, you have a case there because again, if the judges are looking at that, scoring high on the wrestling, it very well could be the case.
Yeah, both fighters had their moments. We're about to start round number 2. Razor close fight so far.
If Carroll can avoid the takedowns and keep picking his part on the striking, but Johnny Bucks gets in there, he gets up underneath it.
Another good double leg takedown from Johnny Buck Nasty Buck.
Back into the guard of Roger Carroll. Not a good place to be.
You know, but really either guy has some vulnerabilities here. Johnny Buck's going to lay down some vicious ground and pound here, but then Roger's going to keep working on the legs with the heel kicks as well as setting up submission. So when you got 2 high-level guys like this, really, the judges, though, a lot of times are going to see the guy on top winning. But it's not actually always the case. Sometimes the guy on the bottom is actually doing more damage and putting up more dangerous situations for the guy on top. But when you have judging that's based on basic criteria, and some of the judges have never grappled before, they don't understand the small facets of that grappling. So right now, Roger's going for a lot of submission attempts. He's also throwing a lot of elbows. Right now, Johnny Buck is mainly trying to hold position, but he just dropped a nice elbow there.
Roger's got a half butterfly guard now, takes it out.
Looks like he's trying to go back and forth between a triangle choke and a sweep.
Looking at the right leg of Buck, you can see where the damage from those heel kicks and those leg kicks have taken effect.
So far, it hadn't seemed to slow down his shot yet, though. That was an up kick, but actually he's got to be careful with that because that was a borderline illegal up kick because it looked like Johnny Buck's knee was still on the ground. If you cannot up kick to a grounded opponent, up kick to the head anyway.
Good elbow by Buck. Carroll smiles back at his opponent.
Usually when a guy smiles, though, that usually means they got hit. And they're trying to play it off like, oh, that didn't hurt, but a lot of times they're really acknowledging that it did hurt, whether they want to or not. Roger looked like he's having fun a little bit, playing to the crowd a little bit, but he needs to stop those shots. If he doesn't stop those shots, I'm afraid Buck is going to steal it on the takedowns, even though Roger is winning the stand-up.
Yeah, Buck seems content to get the takedown, and then once Roger gets into a better position where he can start working submissions, he stands up and starts working for the takedown again. That appears to be his method of operation right here.
Buck being aggressive on top, but still a little cautious. Not to make a mistake against Carroll on bottom.
Yeah, he's very dangerous.
Good knee by Buck, gets in.
Those short knees like that actually do, if he gets the point of the knee to land on the ribs of Carroll, those really do add up. They really work the wind of the fighter. It's really hard body shots if they pinpoint with the knee.
Roger Carroll back to full guard.
Buck still working the body of Carroll while he's on top.
Roger landing strikes from the bottom. Let's see if he starts working some submissions and starts threatening.
At this rate right now, I think the judges are definitely going to be scoring this for Johnny based on the takedowns, the control. Not a lot of damage done, but he is throwing strikes. But Roger's also throwing strikes from the bottom. He's landing a few elbows, but in the judges' eyes, they've got to see Buck winning this round.
Carroll dropping his heels, hoping to catch Buck on his foot.
Nice knee by Carroll.
He's about to get taken down again.
Buck buckled there off that knee, but finishes the takedown.
He's trying to lock in the triangle, but Buck's able to pull out of it. It looks as if it's, like we said, it's a game of, you know, just aggression with Buck and being the bigger, stronger guy right now. Roger's having a hard time locking any of his technical submissions in.
Buck being very smart, letting Carroll up before he gets anything, anything out of it.
Yeah, he's been doing it all night. Now, Roger from the bottom's doing a good job of avoiding real damage and landing some light shots of his own, but I'd really like to see him start using that Gracie Baja black belt and starts threatening with some submissions, because it looks like he's going to be on his back a little bit more in this fight.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's trying to set some things up. Buck is going back and forth between sort of a lay, kind of a smother effect, and then posturing up. And Roger's having a hard time controlling the arms of Buck at this point.
I'm Joey Bennett. You're watching MMA on the Rise.
Have to give that round to Johnny Buck.
So the first round could have gone either way. Tony thinks that it would have gone towards Johnny Buck.
That may be the wrestler in me, I don't know.
Right, but I think it could have gone towards Carroll for the striking, but I could see it going either way. Round 2 definitely goes to Johnny Buck based on the takedown and the control and some of the damage he was doing. Roger landed his strikes in there, here and there, a good knee, but I don't think it was enough to take the round. I think Buck definitely got round 2.
I think either way, as close as this fight is, both fighters want to come out with a sense of urgency.
Yeah, because it could be 1 round to 1. It could be 2 rounds for Johnny Buck. There's no way to know. So either way, Roger has got to finish, and I think Johnny needs to come out with that same sort of mentality, because he doesn't know if this round is a tiebreaker or not.
Yeah, if he has a repeat of last round, he'll probably take the fight. Carroll needs to know that.
The key for Carroll here is he's got to stop the takedown of Johnny Buck. If Johnny Buck gets those takedowns, I think it's going to be a decision for Johnny Buck. I don't know if Roger's going to be able to submit him. He's attempted a few, but Buck's been able to defend most of them and control the positioning. Now, right now, it's in Carroll's world where he's been winning with the striking. But when he commits into the striking, he's got to be careful that Johnny Buck does not get up underneath him and get the takedown.
His strikes are definitely not looking as crisp as they were the first 2 rounds.
Well, you know, that driving nasty style that Buck Nasty has. I mean, it's had to have taken a toll. That was a nice head kick, slightly deflected by Johnny Buck, but when it's a shin kick like that, sometimes even when you got your hand up, you still feel it. It still rattles your brain.
Carroll's still working the legs of Buck.
Yeah, Buck Nasty, a tough dude. Something tells me he's been kicked in the head before.
Another good head kick attempt.
I think he's going to have trouble walking on a leg tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's welting up pretty bad.
If Roger can keep doing what he's doing and popping his shots and stop Buck from getting in tight on him, he can win this round.
That head kick got inside.
But unfortunately, kicking Johnny Buck's head is like kicking a cinder block. It doesn't seem to have much effect.
Good uppercut by Carroll.
And Johnny Buck, again, same story up underneath.
Yeah, deep. He got in deep with that double leg. Gets the takedown.
So far, Carroll's been winning this round, but off that takedown, if Johnny Buck is able to control him here and do some damage, he's got enough time to win this round for sure.
Buck also landing in side control. Going to half guard.
It looks like Roger Carroll's looking for a butterfly sweep right now. Johnny Buck keeping his hips low and back. Trying to maintain a good base. It's very hard to sweep a guy when they have a good base like that. He's really working hard for that sweep. Johnny Buck's doing the right thing by basing back. Roger's going to try to rock him forward to get some momentum going to sweep him to one side or the other. Unfortunately, now he's lost his butterfly hook on the inside. He's now in a half guard. But actually, no, he's maintained it on the other side. Actually, he's still working for it. He's just setting it up on the opposite side now. Now, this is a smarter game plan, I think, with Roger this time. He's working for the sweep and keeping Johnny Buck's base off, and therefore Johnny Buck can't raise up, posture up, and drop bombs. Now, it looks like Carroll's just holding on, but he actually is trying to sweep. If he's successful with the sweep, he gets position. If he's not successful, at least he's not getting hit. He's got to watch for the guillotine there, though, because one of the things about setting up for that butterfly is Johnny Buck can set up a guillotine choke from top there.
Carroll's corner telling him to stand up.
If he stands up too quickly from that position, he can potentially get guillotine choked.
Yeah, goes back to butterfly. His corner imploring him to use it to stand up.
Yeah, this fight is too close to spend it on your back.
And he gets up. He listens to his corner. He's got to watch out for the guillotine there. He needs to get that takedown. If he gets his takedown, he might be able to steal this round if he can do some damage. He's already scored some points with the striking early in the round, and Johnny Buck reverses him. He's just too big and too strong for Carroll.
Good hip spike, Buck there.
Yeah, I see a look of exhaustion on Roger Carroll's face right now. Maybe even a little frustration. He felt he was pretty close to getting that takedown and ended up in the same position.
Yeah, that definitely's got to play with your mind a little bit this late in the fight. You've given everything you got into one move and it doesn't work. You know, what do you do next?
Yeah, especially in a close fight like this when you know you've got that opportunity. Still got the butterfly guard working. He goes to full guard. Yeah, his corner screaming at him to get up, but looks like he wants to maybe throw up some submissions here.
Almost a Hail Mary at this point in the fight.
Yeah, less than a minute left in the fight.
I think this is a classic, you know, the wrestling just of Johnny Buck mixed with, he's just too big for Roger Carroll right now. Roger's having a hard time dealing with his size and his strength. He's doing a good job. He's winning the striking, but he can't handle the size and the strength on the ground of Johnny Buck. And Johnny Buck's versed enough in submission. He's a very good submission guy himself. From a different background, but good submissions nonetheless, that Roger's not able to set up any of the submissions.
10 seconds left in the fight, and Buck Nasty is just grinding away. His typical style. And that's how the fight ends. Great contest.
Both fighters showing good sportsmanship.
Absolutely, lots of respect there. Both very talented professionals.
And both guys put on a phenomenal performance. You know, Roger Carroll definitely was winning the striking battles. Johnny Buck with his wrestling style, his catch-can wrestling.
Michael Cornbread Allen with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight goes to a decision. Judge 1 scored this bout 30-27. Judge 2 scored this bout 28-29. And Judge 3 scored this bout 30-27. For your winner, by unanimous decision, Buck Nasty Johnny Buck!
There you have it. Buck Nasty Buck gets the nod. Fantastic night of fights. Fight Lab 25, Charlotte, North Carolina. You've been watching MMA on the Rise in conjunction with 3 Wide Life. We thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching another exciting episode of MMA on the Rise. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube at MMAOTR.
You can also like us on Facebook.
You can also visit us at MMAOnTheRise.tv.
And now you can follow us on Twitter at MMAOTR.
We'll see you next time on MMA on the Rise.